Okay, so I read 6 books last night because a book came out Tuesday, and it was The Abandoned Empress Volume 6. This is a comic books series that I have been absolutely falling in love with. It follows the story of a young woman named Aristia La Monique. She is the daughter of Marquis Monique, and she is engaged to the crown prince of the empire, because prophecy said that crown prince, like after the crown prince was born, prophecy said that the woman who was born to be empress had been born, and then Aristia was born shortly after, and they interpreted it that she was the prophesied child. So book starts out and she's not the empress, she's the imperial consort. The way that it's set up is you have the emperor, the empress, and then the imperial consort. The imperial consort is basically the spare empress. Picks up she does any duties that the empress is unable to perform. Any children that she bears have a chance at the throne, especially if the empress is unable to bear any children or anything like that. So she goes into court as the consort instead of the empress, because the actual girl from the prophecy suddenly appears, and you're following her along, and it's not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. There's a lot of, the emperor is very emotionally and mentally abusive to her. The empress, she's trying to be her friend. She's like, I don't know anybody here, let's be friends. But at the same time, things happen, and she gets very jealous of Aristia, and Aristia is just like, I just want him to notice me, I want him to love me. And things happen. It ends up that her father gets accused of treason and executed. But before she finds out that he was executed, she goes to plead for his life, because their family has been very loyal to the empire for generations. And Ruvalis, the emperor, he basically humiliates her, and then when she does what he asks, he tells her, I already had him executed. He's already dead. I just wanted to watch you grovel. Because everybody at this point thinks she's very aloof. I'm holier than thou, even though she's just being polite. She's trying to do her job. She's trying to navigate court politics and all of that. And she's just very lonely. She doesn't have any actual friends. She doesn't have a close relationship with her dad. And when he tells her that her dad is dead, she kind of snaps and attacks him. So then she ends up accused of treason and then subsequently executed. And after she's executed, she wakes up in her bed at the Monique estate, and she's 10 years old again. And she has all the memories from the last 7 years, or for the next 7 years, technically, because she went to the palace at 16, she died at 17, and she has all the memories between 10 and 17. And she doesn't know if she dreamt a whole 7 years in a single night, and it's a prophetic dream that's telling her, hey, you need to break this off, or if she actually did and she was sent back in time. She doesn't know, and she ends up going to the temple to see if there are any new prophecies put down. And while she's at the temple, they're like, no, no. And she's looking through them, and she has a vision from the god, and it turns out that the god misplaced the proper girl for the prophecy, and because of that, that's how she ended up entwined, her fate entwined with his. But as a recompense, the god is giving her a second chance to change her fate. And after that, the story follows her and follows her and her quest to break off the engagement, to change her fate, and she decides that she is going to become a knight so that way she can become the heir to her family name. A whole bunch of other things start happening, and as you're following, and as she's going through this and reliving the next 7 years of her life and trying to change her fate, she learns more about her mother, who had died when she was very young, and she actually doesn't have any memories of her mother. She learns more about her dad's past. She starts learning about the tie between her family and the imperial family. Teenage girls start being teenage girls to her, and she's got to go back into the politics that she doesn't want to go into. She just wants to become a knight, take on her family name, and then just live in peace. Like, that's what she wants. She doesn't want politics or anything like that. The book it's really engaging, for sure. The artwork is beautiful. It's in full color. Like, you've got all of these characters. My favorite character so far is definitely Karsine. He's actually Ruvelice's cousin, by way of his mother. If you've read or watched Fruits Basket, he's a little less angrier than Kyo, but like that personality, that rambunctious, go get him personality, that's definitely Karsine. He just doesn't have that anger that Kyo has. It's just a really good book. If you haven't picked it up, I highly suggest picking it up, especially if you like comic books and you like manga, and you like these types of stories. It's a really good read. There's a lot of moments when you're just kind of like, oh shit, and then a bunch of moments where you're just like, aw, it's so cute. Like the scene where there's one part where her and her dad get called to the palace, and she's really nervous, and he just kind of picks her up and just carries her through the palace, and she's all like, everybody's staring, and he's just like, okay, I got my baby girl. And it's at that point it's just really adorable. And where is it? Yeah, it's this part right here, and he's just you're seeing her get a second chance at life, and you would think with how she was treated in the first go around, she would be very angry and vindictive towards everybody, but she's actually very sweet and kind, and she's a very strong character as well. If you were looking for a book with a strong female character, this one is definitely a good one. She's very strong, but as the stories go on, she learns to kind of rely on others as well, and it's a fun read. I highly suggest this one. Even if you don't really care for the story, the artwork is beautiful. Very good book. Very good book. So far, it's 6 volumes out. At the end of every volume, there's this kind of this thing like in the next volume. So there is going to be a 7th book coming out at the end of the year. I'm so getting it because I am very much enjoying this book. This book is but yeah, if you like these kinds of books where it's kind of like second chances given, strong female character, strong male characters too. Like the male characters are not weak little simpy simps. Like Carsine, you can tell that he has feelings for her, but he doesn't simp for her, and it's nice. It's a nice change of pace, especially after Into the Mist. Ooh my god. Every bloody character in that was simping for the main character, and it was just like, bruh, you don't need to simp all the goddamn time. But yep, it's definitely a good book. Though I will say the knights in the serve under her father do kind of simp for her, but it's like, oh, that's our commander's baby girl. She's 10. She's a small child at that point. So, I mean, it's, of course, they're going to be super sweet to her and super nice. And any guy that starts showing affection towards her, they're going to be like, get the fudge nuggets away from her. Like, let's see, where's the part? Because her father makes one of the characters start going through sword training, to get the permission to spend time with her. He's just like, I will let you be her friend as long as you start doing sword training stuff. And there's one part where she decides to start sword training, and that is kind of how they react with him giving her a hug. And it's that protective big brother type feel that you get. And like her dad freaks out, splits them apart, and everybody's all mad at them, and he's just like, 30 laps around the field, 10 for you, Tia. He's just like, it's like, Alendis has to do 3 times more of the laps than Tia does. It was just adorable and sweet. And then at the end, you get a glimpse of the character Carsine. But you don't really meet him until the second book. You just kind of get a glimpse of him. And, yeah, if it sounds interesting, I highly suggest you pick it up. It's a really good book, beautiful artwork. As I said, I know I ramble, but definitely go ahead and pick it up. It's by Ina, original story by Yuna. If there is an anime adaptation to this, and anybody who has read this, sees it, has seen it, and knows of it, I would highly be interested. Like, I would like to see this come to life, because it's a good book. But anyway, till I see you in the next one, hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, and I will see you later. Bye.